Hello, welcome to the Church360 Unite webinar for adding and updating pages. Hi, my name is Rod Kiles and I am the Customer Onboarding Specialist for Concordia Technology Solutions. You can reach me one of two ways. You can reach me by email at rod.kiles@cph.org, and you can also reach me by phone at 314-268-1315. I kindly ask that you mute your phones or microphones and type any questions you may have into the question window. I do answer those questions in the order that they are received, and I also answer all of those questions at the end of class. So we'll be muted during the session due to some of the crosstalk that occurs, but I'll definitely answer any questions you have there. So this session is broken into three sections, basically. We'll go through the outline where we'll discuss the content that we're going to talk about. Then we'll transition into the program, we'll log in, and we'll go through each one of those features. Then at the tail end, we'll have our question and answer session. So let's go ahead and go through the outline here. We're going to start out our session, we'll log into the software, then we'll discuss the different page types, the categories, and how to set up your navigation. Then we'll go through the process of creating hyperlinks, and we'll discuss uploading and inserting assets into your web pages. So then from there, we'll go through adding a post to a feed. So we'll discuss feeds and how to add those into how to add posts into your feeds, and we'll also talk about moderating the comments that can be applied to feeds. So once we complete that, we'll be probably pretty close to our 30-minute time period. Then we'll open up the question and answer session, and we'll answer any questions that you may have. So if you're ready, I'm ready. So let's get started. I'm going to switch screens, and everybody should be able to see our demo Church360 members site. Then up at the top, we do have a custom domain pointing to our site. Even though our site is demo.360unite.com, we have christbakersville.org pointing to that site. For me to be able to log into Church360 Unite, I'm going to click the sign in button here on the right hand side, and that will allow me to type in either my email address or my username. Then I can type in the password, and then that will let me log into the software. If I've forgotten my password, I can click the Forgot Your Password link. That will allow me to type in my email address and then send a password reset to me. Basically, it's an email with a link in it. If I click that link, that will take me back to Church360 Unite, where I can create a new password. So you can also link your login with Facebook and with Google, your Google account as well. So I'm going to go ahead and type my password in and click sign in. And then that will allow me to sign into the software. Once I'm signed in, I'm going to see an additional menu bar, and I call this top bar the admin bar. So I'll see an admin bar across the top, and then I'll also see my main menu bar here across the middle of the page. In the admin bar, it's going to say Pages, Post, Activity, Users, Themes, and Settings. And you may have noticed that the icons have changed just a little bit. So there has been an upgrade to that layout and that design, and we'll talk to those features here in a second. So it has changed just a little bit, but hopefully the reorganization and the new layout helps people have an easier time using the software. So to access the pages and to manage our pages, what we're going to do is click Pages here at the top. And when Pages appears, you're going to notice that the pages are broken into two panels. On the left-hand side, you're going to have your active menu items, and on the right-hand side, you're going to have your available menu items. So the active menu items are going to be the items that you see in your navigation. So I'm going to close the page by clicking the little X here. I'm going to close this tray by clicking the little X here. And you'll notice how we have the items here. These are the ones that are going to be our active menu items. You'll also notice that some of the items are in drop-down list. And we call the primary term a category, and then the items below those, we call those pages. And Inside of Church360 Unite, there's 5 types of pages. There's going to be static pages, feed pages, calendar pages, members pages, and group pages. So 5 different types of pages, and you'll become familiar with them real quick. So a static page is just going to be a page that a system administrator, an administrator, or a publisher can update. Any of the content that they put on that page does not change. So examples of static pages are like our home page and our worship time pages, the What We Believe page. Those are static pages. Once you put the content on that page, that information won't change until you as the administrator or you as a publisher updates that information. And it's the little symbol is going to be the blank piece of paper over here. So that's just going to mean a static page. The second type of page is our feed page. And the feed page is going to be like this blogging page right here. And you'll notice how it's a page, but it has a little like note into that page. And that's supposed to represent inserting content into the page. So, for example, if you had a blog, you could use one of the feed pages. And then periodically you'll post blog posts. And those posts will show up on your feed. And then people can read those. So, a pastor's blog is an example. A sermons page is another example, and it's just a page where you'll at times post information. So it'll be every Sunday, or if it's a pastor's blog, whenever content or information that pastor wants to share comes to mind, that information can be posted. After the feed page, there's going to be a calendar page, and it's got a page icon. It has a little calendar in there. The calendars page is going to be populated by the events that are added into the system. And calendars can be customized to the user. So you may have the calendars provided here by the site, but you could also have Google calendars that are imported into the site. And you can also, if a user belongs to a group, that group calendar information can all be viewed on that calendar. So when a user logs in and they go to the calendar page, the calendar will be customized to them in the aspect of they're seeing information that is provided by the church or by Google. And then the third option would be by the groups that they belong to. The fourth type of page is going to be our members page. And the members page is kind of like an online church directory. So when you go to the members page, you'll be able to see the different members of your church. So anybody that's agreed to be listed on the online directory, they'll be able to be part of the members directory. And of course, people who don't, you can mark them as unlisted and then they won't show. And the third type of page is going to be here on the right-hand side, and you'll see an example. There's a group page, and it kind of has like a little group icon there in the center of the page. And a group page is kind of like a website inside of your website. So, for example, this very first one here, it says Men's Bible Study. When you create that group, you're setting up kind of like a little section inside of your website, and that section will have its own home page. It'll have calendars. It'll have a calendar, which you can post events just for that group. In addition, you'll also have members that can be emailed, so members are attached to the group. It has its own built-in pages, so you can have up to 3 pages. And you can insert content on that into that group so that they can be contacted. And they are so that information can be shared. So groups are kind of like a website inside of a website. So they're pretty neat. And we have videos that cover groups out on our YouTube site. So you could review that, and we'll be covering groups in upcoming webinars as well. So once you know about the different type of pages here inside of Church360 Unite, the next thing to do would be to create a page. So, and we'll talk about moving the navigation and everything in the different statuses of the page once we get a page added into the site. So to create let's create a category first. To create a category, I'm going to click on Add Category, and then Clicking that button will create the category, and it'll just show up here on the left. And I'm just going to call mine sample category. Then I'll press enter, and it'll actually save that category. Once I've added an item, the next thing I'll want to do is save changes, and then that'll just push everything to the server so that my information is saved. And I'll get a message here at the top letting me know that it did save. So I'm going to close that. Once I have a category here on the left-hand side, I can drag and drop pages into that category. And if I wanted to get rid of the category, I can just drag the category over here to the right-hand side. To add a page, what I would do is I would click the Add Page icon here at the upper right-hand side. And when I click that Add Page button, that's going to take me to this New Page modal, which will allow me to select any of the predefined pages that are here. So there's going to be a completely blank page, which won't have any content on it. You can do with that page what you wish. So it's completely blank, make it how you would like. To the right of the blank page is going to be our feed page, and this page would be used for like blogs or sermons, and you're going to be inserting content onto that page as well. So you'll be actually not inserting content, but you'll be posting content to that page as of a certain date. So it's a little bit different from simply updating a page. You're actually posting content, and I think that'll make more sense when we actually show that here in the next so many minutes. To the right of the feed page is going to be the group page, and you'll want to remember that this is a spot where you create a new group. You'd give it a title and you would save it, and that would then become your group page. Then below that are some other predefined pages where they just have a little bit of text on those pages, and you can click on that page and it'll create that page for you. So let's create just a blank page, and the concept for the page that we'd like to create today is going to be Easter breakfast. So I'm going to click on blank page. Then I'm going to click create here on the right hand side, and that's going to create my page. Once the page is here, I'm going to need to name my page, then press enter. And I actually didn't delete my test from earlier, so I'm going to say Easter breakfast 2. Actually, I'm going to call this one Easter brunch. Okay. Then I'm going to press enter, and that will save my page. And at that point, actually down at the bottom, let me redo that part if that's okay. I'm going to delete my sample page, and I kind of want to do it right here. So then delete this page as well. So I'm going to click Add Page. Let me save my changes. Add Page, click a blank page, and click Create Page. Call this one Easter Breakfast. Okay. Then once I press enter, that's going to save my page. Then I'm going to want to save changes. Then the last thing that I'm going to do is I'm just going to refresh the page so that I can see the actual hyperlink that's going to be under the page. So down here at the bottom, you'll see Easter breakfast, and then you'll see the hyperlink. Sometimes they'll call it the slug. It's the location of that page. So that page is on this website, and it's in a folder called Easter breakfast. So at this point, if there's any pages that I want to reposition, I can drag and drop those pages where I want them to be. So pages that are here on the left-hand side, if I want to move them up or down, I can drag and drop those items. Also, if they're in the navigation and I no longer need them, but I'm not ready to delete them, I can take that page and drag it from the left to the right and drop that page over there on the right hand side. Now, when the page is not under active menu items, that means it's not part of your main menu. It's still accessible by clicking on the hyperlink here, but it's just not in your drop-down list on your main menu. So let me go ahead and save changes. At the lower part of the window, you're going to see your action buttons. And every single page is going to have one of two statuses. So it's either going to be publish or it's going to be draft. So every single page we have here besides Easter breakfast is actually published. So that means that the page can be accessed by either people who come by the site or people who log into the site. That part is going to be determined by whether or not it's public or private. But if it's draft, it can only be accessed by your administrator or your publisher. So a page like resources here, since that's been published and it doesn't say members only, that means it can be accessed by anybody who comes by the site. If I want a page to only be viewed by people who log in, I'll click on the page to select it and I'll click private. And then it'll say members only. So every page will have one of two statuses. It'll either have published or make draft, and if it's published, you'll want to make the determination of whether or not that page is public or private, with private meaning that they have to log into the site to actually see that page. So I'm going to click on this and return that to public so that it can be seen. Then from there, I'm going to save changes. And once my page has been created, the next thing I'm going to want to do is click on the hyperlink down here. And I'm going to continue since I've already saved. And then that's going to take me over to the page. You'll notice here in the address bar that it's going to say Easter breakfast, and that's the location of the page. But you'll also notice on the left-hand side that there's edit page. And clicking on that tab will expand the tray and allow me to see some of the settings that I can make to this page. So at the top of the page, there's going to be, or the top of the tray, there's going to be layouts. And with those layouts, I can select any of the layouts that are here. And what those layouts allow me to do is control the flow of text. So this top box here, that just means the text is going to flow left to right, top to bottom on this page. But I can do like a two column that are equal in size. I can also do two columns that are different in size. And there's also kind of like a banner, then two uneven size columns, and then they switch them. Then there's also a banner and three evenly sized columns. So I'm actually going to select this one here for ours. Then below the layout is going to say settings. Then there's going to be status, where there's draft or publish. So once I'm in this view, if I need to switch it over to publish, I can. There's the URL, the page title, and then there's also meta description, which allows you to insert metadata into your web page. And basically this these meta descriptions, these meta tags, they're kind of like keywords. So when you insert this information into your page, that information is read by the search engines, the little bots that crawl your pages to provide information to the search engines about your site. That information is read, and it gives the search engine more information about your website. Now, the people who visit your site won't be able to see the meta description, but those search engines will be able to see it. So it's just providing additional information about your website. Okay, and then there's a save and cancel button down here at the bottom. So once you click into the boxes here, there's going to be a toolbar that appears, a floating toolbar that appears that gives you the options to make changes to this web page. So across the bottom, there's options to manage your text. So I want to start out by inserting an image though. So if I go to image here and I click insert, then I can upload an image. So I'm going to click upload, and I'm actually going to go to my desktop. And I'm going to select my Easter banner here, Easter breakfast banner here, and click open. And then that's going to upload the banner. Once the banner is here on the site, I'll see the title here in the URL, and I can go to the Advanced tab to change the size of the banner if I need to. You'll notice that the aspect ratio is locked, but right now it's saying the width is 600 and the height is 200. And if I needed to make that smaller, I could just simply type in the size that I'd like to make it smaller. So I'm going to click OK there. And then I would actually see my banner. Okay. If I go over to the cell on the right, I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste some text into this window. So I already have some text predefined, already pre-planned so that I can have it and paste it in here. You'll notice that there's two paste buttons. There's paste as plain text and paste from Word. Now, if I paste as plain text, that's going to strip out the extra formatting and just leave that formatting out and just give you the text. And if I paste from Word, it's going to allow me to keep some of that formatting from Word. So the majority of it will be provided. So what I'm going to do is open up Microsoft Word here. And I have it opened up. And I'm going to copy my text. So I'm going to right-click. I'm going to highlight, right-click, copy. Then when I click over here, if I want to do just plain text, I can do that. If I want to do paste from Word, I can do that as well. Now, you do want to be careful about pasting from Word. If there's formatting in Word that you can't reproduce inside the WYSIWYG editor, making changes to that text may be difficult. So we just want to make sure that when we paste, we're picking the best choice there. So it might be best to paste it as text, then use the controls here inside the WYSIWYG editor to make changes. So once we have that information in Microsoft or in Word, once we have that information into our WYSIWYG editor, then we can make changes if we'd like. So we could type in new information or update anything that we would like to. So, so there is paste from text or Word. There's copy, cut, undo, and redo. There's the option for inserting a anchor. For anchors, you may remember, you know, back in the day when they used to have really long Word documents, sometimes they would have an anchor, and then you could click on a link and that would jump you to the bottom of the page or jump you to a section or jump you back to the top of the page. That's the concept for anchors. So if you have a really long web page, you could insert an anchor and create a hyperlink to that anchor. So let's create a hyperlink. So I'm going to go ahead and save this page. And to create a hyperlink, what you would do is, I'm going to go down here and scroll down a little bit. And probably the most common use for hyperlinks is going to be inserting newsletters. So I'm going to type the word newsletter here. Then to insert that hyperlink, I would highlight newsletter, click on the hyperlink button, and then I'm going to receive this modal. And I'm going to have the option of the type of hyperlink that I want to create. So I could say a page or a feed inside of my website. I could say any URL. I could say an anchor, going back to what we were just talking about a second ago, a file that users can download, or an email address. The email address is used in situations where, like, you have a like a staff page, or you have a bio about a pastor or somebody there at the church. Then you could put in the email address, and then they could click on the link, and then that would launch their default email client, allowing them to send an email to the pastor or the staff or whoever they wanted to contact. So let's say a file that users can download. So then I'm going to go, that's going to change the window a little bit. I can click upload, and I'm going to use the Ash Wednesday service here. Then click open. You'll see the file upload here at the top. In the window, it's going to say assets uploaded on this page. Then you can also see assets uploaded on other pages as well. So this is going to be the information that's throughout my website. So at this point, I could click on the item, click upload, and that's going to save my changes, or upload. That's going to insert my hyperlink. So then on the right-hand side, I could click Save and close my edit page. I'm going to refresh my screen there. Then if I click on the newsletter link, that's going to launch my newsletter. And this right here is a Ash Wednesday sermon, but that's the basic concept there. So I'm going to go back to my Easter breakfast page here and reopen the WYSIWYG editor here, reopen the edit page. There's a couple other icons to make note of. There's the insert audio, insert video, and there's embed media. Now, the insert audio is going to allow you to upload an audio file, and actually an MP3 file, and that will allow people to listen to that MP3 file. You can also insert a video as well. Now, when it comes to videos, most time people will embed the video instead of just inserting the video into the website. So a good example, and actually I'm going to go back to this page over here, or go back to this section over here to embed my video. So to embed a video, I would click on the Embed Media button, and then that's going to bring up this window where I can paste embedded code here. And I'm going to go to our CTS website here, our Concordia Technology Solutions website, to grab the video. So down here at the bottom, there's going to be, right below the video, there's going to be a share option. And underneath share there, I'll have the choice of share. That would be a web address of where the video is located out on the web. If I go to embed, I'm going to receive my embed media code. So I can just, it's already highlighted, so I can right click and copy. Then I can go back to my website, and then I can right click and paste into that box. And early on, you'll notice that it says width 560 by height 315. So if I needed to change that information, I could just change it. Then I click OK, and that will actually insert my YouTube video. So that's how you would insert a YouTube video, or any video that that can be embedded. So there's other websites that provide content or allow you to upload content as well. Then to the right of the embed media is a icon for creating a table, one for inserting a horizontal line. The next one, the omega symbol, is for inserting special characters, and if you wanted to see the source code, you can click on source to make changes to the source code. So let me go ahead and save this page and close the edit bar there, the edit tray there. And let's take a look at feeds for just a minute. So we do have the blogging posts here, and closer toward the bottom we have a sermons one here. So I'm going to click on the link for sermons, and that's going to take me to the sermons page. And the sermons page is a feed page, and you can tell by the RSS feed icon here on the right hand side. To be able to edit that page, I'd click the edit tab here on the left hand side, and you'll notice how it will automatically show new post here. So basically I'll be inserting a new post. That's the concept behind these pages. So at the top there'll be URL to let me know where this page is located, the feed title, the meta description. Then I can specify how many posts I want on the page, and whether or not to show the post content. So you'll notice when I'm on this page that I'm actually seeing the post. If I uncheck show post content, it'll just show the title of the post and not show the content. Then below that it's going to say allow comments and moderate comments. So checking allow comments means that the people who log in can comment on the video, and moderate means that once they comment, you'll receive an email about the comment, and it'll give you a chance to say whether or not you want to allow the comment or deny the comment. So I'm going to call this Sunday Sermon here. Then I'm going to go down and copy my ipsum here, and I'm going to paste that into, I'm just going to paste that here into the web page. So, and once I have that information pasted in, I can click create. Oh, we must have one called Sunday Sermon. Sunday Sermon, and last Sunday was the 28th. So I'm going to say February 28th, 2016. Then click create, and that will create my my post, and that will show up. Now, once the post is created, I'm going to click save, and I'm going to close the edit page. Then I'll go to post here at the top, and at this point I'll have the choice to see all the posts that are on our website, but also I'll have my Sunday sermon. You'll notice that it's in a draft state. So I can use the check boxes here on the left-hand side, and I can go through and publish this post. I can delete it, or I can move it to another feed if for some reason I created it on the wrong feed. So let me go ahead and publish that. Then, once that's been published, then everybody will be able to see the Sunday sermon. And if someone decides to post a comment, they can go to comments down here at the bottom, and they can type in the comment. I'm just going to say this is a comment. Then I'll go with post. And then your comment has been submitted. You'll notice that the comment doesn't show up automatically. So then we can go up to activity here, and we'll see the comment. The user who is in charge of the website, they'll receive an email letting them know that the comment is there. They click on the link and go to the website and approve it if they'd like. Then you can just approve or delete the comment. So if it's appropriate, you can approve it. If it's not, then you can delete it. Okay, and that is the information that I have to provide for this webinar. Let me switch back to my PowerPoint presentation here and ask, do you have any questions? And I did see a few questions that showed up in the question box here. Before anybody drops off, I do want to thank everybody for attending. We do hope that you enjoyed this class. And if you have any further questions, outside of the question and answer session, of course, you can contact us by phone at 1-800-346-6120, and you can shoot us an email at support@cts.cph.org. Okay, so I received a few questions here from Joanne. Hello, Joanne. And the first question is, why doesn't the calendar connect with Shepherd Staff? I have to re-enter, you have to enter everything twice. So the reason why the information doesn't connect with the calendar, I want to say that's because the information was programmed by two different people at two different times, and it wasn't part of the initial design. What I will do is at the end of this webinar, I'll pass that information over to the development team. I don't think it's one of those things that they don't want to. I just think that it's being developed by one programmer versus another programmer, and when they set up the scheduler software, which is where you enter your calendar in Shepherd Staff, that was programmed a few years back, and then when they programmed this Unite, it was by a different programming team. But that's definitely something they can look into and hopefully save everybody some time. The next question, or there's another question from Joanne. Can you change the font size after you have copied the text into a page? And yes, you can. When you are in, let me switch back to the website, and I'm going to go back to our Easter page here. And once you're on your page, the way that you change the font size, you'll have to edit your page, and you can highlight your text. And actually, I'm going to say, I'm going to change Easter breakfast here. And the way to change the font size is to use the drop-down box here where it says normal. And to explain the thought process behind here is one of the things they wanted to make sure when they designed these websites was to see if they could make it easy to reproduce the same size font across all of the pages. So that's how they came up with the idea of heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, heading 4, 5, 6, so on and so forth. So in that way, if you create a header, you can say, well, I'm going to use heading 3 for this header all across the website, and you'll get the exact same size. There are ways to choose different font sizes, and we do have information about that. You know, we could set up a time to discuss that further, and they are planning on having some enhancements to the software here in the near future to allow people to make some different changes about font sizes. But right now you would just change the heading size, and that would make the font a little bit bigger. And if you wanted to, you could customize the theme, and then that will allow for changing font sizes. There's a few little nuances to that, but right now you would just change the heading size. Okay. Okay, and the third question from Joanne is, when inserting a hyperlink to put a newsletter on the page, does it have to be a PDF or can it be a Word document? Great question. It can be a Word document. You can actually upload any file to be downloaded. So if it was a Word document, an Excel file, a PDF file, a PowerPoint file, it could be any of those. Now, the thing about Word, I guess Word versus PDF, if you upload a Word document, the person who wants to view that document would have to have Microsoft Word or one of the other programs that will open a Word file. So there could be a slight limitation there. The good thing about PDF is the Adobe Reader software is free, so anybody can download it at no cost. And I guess you can also say there's Open Office, so if you didn't have Word, you'd be able to install Open Office, which is a freeware software out there that's been out there for many years. Okay, so the next question is from Kim. Hello, Kim. It says, can you add new font sizes? You can add new font sizes. That would be done through the theme as well, and that's a little bit more complex. But I would say, if you want to add different font sizes, we could set up a time to discuss that and figure out what the best bet is to be able to implement those font sizes. We can clone the theme and insert and actually change these. Let me back over here. So we can actually go in and change these sizes here. And we could probably insert our own terminology too as well, because when you have a clone theme, you can basically do whatever you want to that thing. So, we can definitely discuss that more. And the can you add new colors? Oh, good question. In dealing with new colors as well, you do have the colors that are here, but to deal with new colors, you would have to clone the theme as well. And I think I've said that quite a few times, but what the cloning of the theme does is it allows you to go in and set up changes, which we can help you set up those changes. But when you go into the software, you could type in the hex code or whatever color that you wanted. So if you picked a color, you could select the hex code for that color and use that color throughout the system or wherever you wanted to insert it at. So it is a little bit more complex to be able to pick any additional colors, but the preset ones are here, but we could definitely help you pick colors. We would just need to know which colors you wanted, and we could help you set that up. Okay, let's see. The next question is from Angel. Hello, Angel. Can you request that they update the software that fonts changes be added to the toolbar? Yes, ma'am. I will make sure to post that in. We have a mechanism called feedback, and basically it's an internal website that we go through, and I take the questions from the comments and questions from these webinars, and I post that information into the feedback so that that information is passed forward. So, and then that's actually the reason why they're making changes to the fonts. It's due to feedback, but I'll make sure I add your feedback in as well, Angel. The next question is from Lori. How do you delete old pictures in documents not being used? Good question. So inside of Church360 Unite, when you go into your image here, you'll notice that there's a little trash can, and then it talks about other uploads on the website. So depending on which item you're looking at, so if I'm on image, I can go in and delete the images that are there. And if I was in a hyperlink here, and I went to a file that users can download, I could go here and then I would see the other items that have been uploaded, and I'd be able to delete those items as well. So you actually delete the things that you have uploaded from the area where you uploaded it to. So you kind of return to the scene of where the upload happened. Click OK there. Hopefully that answers your question there. And the next was from Kim. Oh, thanks. I appreciate it. Thanks. I look forward to hearing from you, Kim. Talk to you soon. Okay. And it looks like that might be the end of the questions there. I'll hang on here for a few moments. And oh, thanks, Lori. Lori's question is, it's more of a statement. Our calendar page is not able to be seen by everyone, although it shows that it is public. Okay. I think that's something we would have to just take a look at and figure out what's going on with the settings there. And if it's a software issue, we can pass that on to the programmers, and they'll fix it really quickly. So, we'll just have to figure out what's going on, gather the information, and pass that forward. And we'll definitely get that fixed for you. So, when this webinar ends, I will gather this information. I'll forward the portions on to the appropriate people, and we'll shoot you an email, Lori, about getting that calendar page fixed. So, okay. No, thanks, Lori. Okay, well, if there aren't any other questions, I will end the session, and I hope to talk to everybody soon.